I'm helping a friend set up her online shop, and the best advice I've given her is to set it up on Shopify. Anita and I did, and we could not have been happier. And one of the best features of Shopify is that purple pay button. It is so easy to use. It's iconic. You can't miss it. And if you are setting up an online shop, you definitely want it. It makes purchasing so easy. You don't have to look for your credit card. You don't have to remember passwords. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household name brands to your brand. You can get started with your own design studio. Shopify has hundreds of ready-to-use templates, and they help you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style. And then you can get the word out, like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And what if you get stuck? Shopify is always around to share advice and their award-winning 24/7 customer support. See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/DTT. Go to shopify.com/DTT. That's shopify.com/DTT. I'm usually talking to you about Quince home decor. Today, I want to focus on their clothing. My closet is brimming with Quince. The fabrics feel elevated, the fits are flattering, and everything just works without overthinking it. I absolutely love everything from Quince, but in particular, the lightweight cotton cashmere link stitch dolman sweater, which I just simply call my favorite, is my go-to piece. It is such a flattering sweater. Every time I wear it, people stop me and ask me where I got it. And one of the best things about this sweater is it's $39.90. You cannot beat that price, and the quality is amazing. Quince makes it easy to refresh your everyday this spring with pieces that feel as good as they look. Everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They work directly with ethical factories and cut out the middleman, so you're paying for quality and craftsmanship, not brand markup. Refresh your everyday with luxury you'll actually use. Head to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Wilkness here with Anita Joyce, and this is another DTT Plus where you get more of us. And today we are discussing the color predictions for 2026.
These are always fun to listen to. They're always very interesting to think about, and then throw in your opinion about what you're seeing, what you're thinking. So I love having these discussions, and sometimes we agree with the experts and sometimes we don't.
Well, being experts ourselves, we have our own expert opinions, right? So the colors of the year for Pantone and two of the major paint brands, Benjamin Moore and Sherwin-Williams, have been out for a bit of time. We talked to you about two of them. I don't think that Pantone was declared when we did our trends episode. They took a little bit of time to come out with that this year, but the colors are Cloud Dancer from Pantone, and that's kind of a off-white. I think it's kind of a cold off-white. And then the Benjamin Moore color of the year was Silhouette, which I think harkens towards our fave Kendall charcoal, but it's got a little bit more brown under it, but definitely like a burnt umber meets charcoal. And then the S&W is Universal Khaki, which is sort of an earthy, warm khaki, as you would imagine.
Did you say khaki?
Khaki. Khaki? Khaki? How do you say it?
Khaki.
Khaki. Okay. Close, which is not tacky. Khaki is never tacky.
No.
It's just kind of like sometimes meh. I'm not loving this one so much, and I'm also not seeing it everywhere. I'm also not seeing a ton of khaki. Anybody's khaki anywhere? How about you?
No, but I think the trend is more toward warmer colors. So the silhouette and the khaki don't surprise me. Yeah, but Cloud Dancer surprises me because it's a very cool blue tinted white. And that feels more like the colors that go with gray. And since the whole industry is moving away from gray, I'm kind of surprised by that one. So those are my thoughts on that.
Yeah, and Pantone is such an interesting, I don't know, company, or I don't even know what you call it, movement in a sense through the color world, because it really isn't a paint company. It's colors that like graphic artists and different people would use, but they have come out with a color of the year for, I don't know, ever. And it is talked about in connection with the paint brand's color of the year. It's just a real marketing thing, but I don't really know why Pantone even does it, because they're not really marketing a paint or a product to sell. So it's almost like it's onto itself, but normally it is sort of in keeping with what the general trend is. So I do agree with you. It seems to me to be a cold off-white. It's not really a color that seems to appeal to the general warm trend that we're seeing. And the whole thing about choosing a color of the year, right? It's very trend oriented. It is sort of towards trying to sell something because, oh, maybe I should have the color of the year, or a color that's close to the color of the year. And that's different from the color that was last year. So I should change my paint and buy more paint. And therefore I'm supporting these brands. And then Farrow and Ball takes a whole different approach, right? Their whole approach is heritage, forever colors, but it's just different ways to approach the same thing, I guess. What I would suggest everybody gets, if you're really interested in paint colors or you're thinking about changing colors, is get the Farrow and Ball Archive paint collection. It's a giant reel of different paints that they have had forever since they became a paint company, because the small books only have their current colors, but you can still get all the archival colors. It is a very juicy paint deck to get.
You asked, why did Pantone get into the whole business of having a color of the year? And at first we didn't even know what exactly they did. Well, I think you just answered your own question. I think it is self-promotion. They kind of got out there and started coming up with this, and a lot of people started talking about Pantone's color of the year. So I think at the end of the day, it was self-promotion. And if you start coming up with a top whatever list, and you're the only one doing it, then people might be quoting you.
I've been overwhelmed by the positive response to my app, Home Design Coach. Are you one of the many DTT listeners already working with me on the app? Well, if not, give it a go. Head to studio.com/Kelly to learn more about Home Design Coach and see if it's right for you. You can take the quiz, get your personalized plan, and then you can decide whether to subscribe. There's no obligation, just opportunity. An opportunity to work with me to create a home you truly love. Studio.com/Kelly. Hope to see you there. So there were some other colors that were tossed around before these colors came out, because designers love to try to think about what's coming next and throw in their picks for color of the year before these companies declare their own. So there was a bunch of different colors that came out that people were predicting, and we thought we'd talk about them today and see what we think about them and whether we're seeing them now in 2026. I'm really excited to tell you about the world's #1 expanding garden hose and their brand new product, the Pocket Hose Ballistic. Now that sounds serious, doesn't it? Well, it is, and I am a serious gardener, so this is the kind of hose that I'm going to use. I have so many container gardens around my house, and I need to water them all individually, so I can't mess around with subpar hoses. That's why the Pocket Hose is my go-to hose. Pocket Hose is the #1 expandable hose in the entire world. It's super lightweight, easy to manage, easy to store. Turn the water on and it grows. Turn the water off and it shrinks back to pocket size. The Pocket Hose Ballistic is reinforced with a liquid crystal polymer used in bulletproof vests. I told you it was serious. Making the anti-burst sleeve practically bulletproof. And now, for a limited time, when you purchase a new Pocket Hose Ballistic, you'll get a free 360-degree rotating pocket pivot and free thumb drive nozzle. Just text DTT to 64,000. That's DTT to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. So you're going to text DTT to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. I'm helping a friend set up her online shop, and the best advice I've given her is to set it up on Shopify. Anita and I did, and we could not have been happier. And one of the best features of Shopify is that purple pay button. It is so easy to use. It's iconic. You can't miss it. And if you are setting up an online shop, you definitely want it. It makes purchasing so easy. You don't have to look for your credit card. You don't have to remember passwords. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household name brands to your brand. You can get started with your own design studio. Shopify has hundreds of ready-to-use templates, and they help you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style. And then you can get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And what if you get stuck? Shopify is always around to share advice and their award-winning 24/7 customer support. See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/DTT. Go to shopify.com/DTT. That's shopify.com/DTT.
The first one is an olive brown, which is a moody neutral. This is kind of between an earthy olive green and a warm brown. So it does feel grounded. It's organic, maybe a little bit retro. I think this would work very well on kitchen cabinetries, maybe in a dining room, built-in shelving. I am seeing in new builds a lot of green cabinetry now instead of blue or white or gray, but I'm not really seeing this particular tone of green. I'm not seeing this particular shade of green. I'm not seeing it. I personally don't care for it. What do you think, Kelly?
I like these moody, muddier tones. I think they are really pretty. They really wouldn't work in my house. I'd have to change a lot of things to have that work. But I think it could be beautiful for woodwork, cabinetry, joinery. I think it could be really stunning and works really well with the whole earthy palette and works really well with brown furniture, which has come on so strong in the last couple of years. So I could see this fitting in really well. It also has that whole organic biophilic thing going on because it is green or different tones of green. I know we're going to talk about another green. I think as we go through the list here, I would tend more towards these muddier greens, and Farrow & Ball does a muddy green like nobody else. So that would be a good place to start. Have a look if you're interested in one of these colors or types of colors.
Wouldn't you say Farrow & Ball has a lot of muddy colors? Aren't they kind of known for that?
Yeah, well, it's that really wonderful, deep pigment that they have that other companies aren't able to produce. And yes, a lot of them are kind of muddy or like dusty. Yeah. Not really very sharp in a sense, but because of the pigment, you kind of like seeing other tones come through. It is worth the extra cost.
Yes. Have you seen the Farrow & Ball skit from Saturday Night Live?
No, I have.
You have not?
No, I'll have to look it up.
Okay. Yeah. I'll link to it.
Oh, funny.
It's the colors. The colors. It's pretty funny. Okay, so the next color is Dusty Teal. This is kind of a coastal classic. It's kind of right between sage green and cornflower blue. So it's a slightly muted tone. It's calm. but it's interesting. I think it would work well in a cottagecore interior or a coastal home. It is traditional. I think it's versatile, and I do think there's an appeal to it because it is a nice color without being too loud, but I don't know. Feels too 80s for me personally. I'm not loving it. What do you think, Kelly?
I don't love teal. I don't like teal or aqua. It really reminds me of the Howard Johnson's logo.
Oh,
yeah, from when I was little. And I mean, well, their hot dogs with the buttered bun were pretty spectacular. I never was down with their logo color choices. So no, I just never liked that. I could see in a certain type of home if you had, maybe something in a warm place. Like I'm thinking like if you were in Florida and you were kind of like leaning into the cottage core, kind of like a 1940s cute vibe in a cottage.
Del Boca Vista Phase 2. Isn't that from Seinfeld?
Could be, but yes, what you just said is like what's in my head. Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So not for me, but in small doses in certain applications.
Okay, next up, Kelly Green. And this has been around for a while. I think of it as being very English color. I see it in a lot of English country homes. Mm-hmm. It's between sage and chartreuse. So it's very energetic. It's fresh. It definitely, as you said, Kelly, has a connection to nature. Yeah, and it does help the space feel alive. So you can see this shade used. I see it used a lot in kitchens, powder rooms, maybe a butler's pantry, interior doors. Ooh, that's an idea. And I think it does make a statement. And this one's a total yes for me. I love this color, and I've been trying to find a place to use this. So I adore this color. What about you, Kelly?
Well, first of all, I would have gotten that wrong if it was the Anita Joyce multiple choice. And they said, would Anita Joyce want to use Kelly Green? I would have said decidedly no.
Really?
Yeah, because I always think of you more blue and lavender and all of that. I would not think you'd want Kelly Green. I want to like Kelly Green for the obvious reason. No, not for me. I can appreciate it as a color from a distance, and I can definitely picture it maybe with a black and white check tile floor and Kelly Green cabinetry with brushed gold or some brass hardware, maybe a marble countertop. I'm now conjuring up a Kelly Green sort of butler's pantry, or you definitely could see it in a powder room. I want to like it, but I wouldn't have it in my own house.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, the next color is a powder blue, soft and serene, and I'm thinking periwinkle blue. It's a very soft, airy blue. You can think of skies, calm water, and this can be used in a bedroom, bathroom, living room, or a nursery. And it is supposedly popular because it's a little softer than navy. Maybe people that want navy, but they're afraid of the deep color, are more interested in this blue. So it does have a sense of calm and openness. But I'm going to tell you right now, and this is my personal experience, I had a time when I wore dark suits to work all the time, navy, black, charcoal gray, and I was looking for something to soften the look a little bit, and I bought a periwinkle suit.
Wow.
Yes, I bought it, and I think every time I wore it, I felt like I was saying to the world, don't look at me because I'm not the decision maker here.
No, it's true. Color is so powerful. When I was a district attorney and I had this wonderful woman who was a colleague, she was in my trial bureau with me, and she was absolutely beautiful, dark hair, and she could carry off pink like nobody. But she bought herself a pink suit and she wore it to work. Our boss was like...
Wait a minute. And this is as a prosecutor in New York City? Wearing a pink suit.
I mean, this was...
Is this during trial?
This was very pre, anybody saying like my boss said something weird to me days. But he gave her some good advice. He was like, pretty bluntly, like, the pink's got to go. Like, do you have something here? Because she could not clothes in the biggest trial she had ever done to date in that suit, because like you're saying, people would have been like, where's your boss, honey? Like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It just grew to hate it, and it just sat in my closet, of course, for a while because I didn't realize I just needed to throw it out. But yeah, it was a big mistake, and I just never felt confident when I was wearing it. If you're leading a meeting and you're wearing that, again, it just doesn't jive with the person who's supposed to be.
Right. But it's different than if you want to put it on your wall, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is a different
I know,
vibe.
but I'm just pointing out my personal aversion.
Well, I have a
color.
personal aversion to powder blue. It makes me think of Old Man Windbreaker. I just can't. I'm powder blue. And also, I think it's like a default color where people are like, oh, my bedroom should be powder blue. Somebody wrote 80 million times over that, this is calming and will make you sleep. It's boring, I think. Sorry. I just don't like, how I feel about blue, everybody. I really, really don't like powder blue. And if you want navy and you go powder blue, girl, I got to give you some confidence. Do the navy.
Yeah. So, okay. On to what is being called the ugly greens.
I don't like
these are, I don't think they're ugly, but I don't know why they're calling them that. But these are the greens that lean toward slightly yellow or olive, giving them kind of a quirky look that some designers love. These colors are really nice for mudrooms, cabinetry, accent furniture, painted trim. And this also is a trend that I am also enjoying. So I am going to give this one a thumbs up. What say you, Kelly?
Well, I like to call them kind of tangy greens, because they're kind of like that chartreusey, and even the olive kind of gives you, gives me a tangy feel. I don't know, better than ugly. I don't like that ugly. I don't think they are ugly. And I think a lot of those can be chameleons, and really no reference to actual chameleons that turn various colors of green, but in real life, they can work with so many different things. So I think it could be a really great choice. Of course, there's a wide breadth of colors that would fall under this, either ugly or tangy or just kind of weird, quirky greens. But I think it's a great choice. And I can see why you would love it because it looks beautiful with lavenders and purples.
Yes, it does. Okay. The last color we're covering, butter yellow. And this is something that was very popular a while back. So it is associated with optimism and warmth. It's very inviting. And these butter yellows have been used in kitchen cabinets, breakfast nooks, accent walls, and furniture pieces. And yeah, I think traditionally the yellow cabinets were very popular and very common. And I'm seeing people want to use this again. I had a client telling me recently she's interested in using butter yellow on her cabinets with blue. So this is definitely making a comeback. And again, this is kind of part of this whole movement more toward the warm colors and away from the grays that have dominated for so long lately. And this one, for me personally, I think it's fine. I don't have a problem. I don't want it in my house, but I don't have a problem with it. And I think it could work in certain situations. So what say you, Kelly?
I had a butter yellow kitchen.
Of course you did. There you go.
Yeah, in the house we built from scratch, and I loved it. I just caution you that if you want a butter, softer yellow, make sure it's butter and not lemon, because lemon yellow, get a big sample or try it out for real, because lemon yellow is cold and a sherbety kind of yellow is not good. You're not going to like that on the wall. But butter yellow is very, very nice. But I would encourage you, if you want a yellow, to go even more saturated. Farrow Sudbury yellow is one of my favorites. That's what my bedroom is currently. And that room just glows in the afternoon sun. It's gorgeous. So if you need a room to be cheery, I'd go even a little bit more saturated.
Well, I think if you go very soft, it's going to read white. So I think that's what you're saying. If you go too pale, it's just going to look like a white. Yeah. So that's something to think about. If you want the butter to show up, make sure you get enough saturation in the color that it's going to appear. And of course, we talk about it all the time. Try the sample eyes color samples, and that's going to help you get a good feel for how the color is going to look on the wall. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Fabulous, fun, wow, even better than I had hoped or expected. These are just a few of the words used to describe a DTT design consult. We've been doing consults for many years, and boy, are we good at it. And people are loving the results of the advice and suggestions that we make for them. It's so easy to schedule a consult with us. Just simply go to our website, decoratingtipsandtricks.com, and click consult. There you'll be led through the very simple process. And sooner than later, you, I, and Anita will be discussing your home in detail. So sign up for a consult today. Let us help you design and decorate the home that you want and deserve. Looking forward to talking to you soon.